Marriage, they're both beautiful things, but let's be real for a minute. When you are with someone for a long time, you might need some advice on how to keep things interesting. Well, Dr. Viviana joins us now with some helpful tips. Dr. Viviana, how are you?
Hey, Claudia in Colorado and Company. I'm doing great, thanks.
Always so good to have you. Okay, well, let's be honest here. We're always busy, and sometimes it can be hard to get good quality time with the partner. Why is this so important, though, that we give it that time?
If you don't give and make the time for each other now, you might not get the opportunity later. Obviously, we've heard the whole YOLO thing and just making sure that you prioritize the people that are important to you. It can actually end up in a breakup or a divorce if you're not making the time right now. You have to carve it out. It's never just going to be handed to you.
Okay, I completely agree with what you're saying. Now, you say that even if you really know someone, communication is still a constant. It needs to be.
It does, because again, we don't live in these really small communities. Our perspectives are changing on things every single day with new information coming in.
Mhm.
Even just talking to other people and being in community, the way that you feel about something one year may not be the same way that you feel about it later on. And if you're in a long-term relationship, there are lots of opportunities to lose that bond with each other. So I want to make sure that you're growing together, not apart.
Okay, now over time, though, it can be easy to fall into a routine. Why could this be a bad thing, and how do you get away from that?
Yeah, you have to be interesting in order to be interesting to your partner. So go ahead and start to learn new things. It's never too late to pick up something to read, watch a new, binge something, right? I mean, you can
Hmm.
learn all sorts of things from all over the world these days. It can be free, or you can invest in something that's more like more education, a new hobby, or even a new career. But come back to the table, especially that dinner table, with something to talk about. Some people will go so far as to make notes along the day. They'll make notes in their phone to have something to talk about on date night that week. And
Okay.
some people would say, well, wow, that seems like a lot of work if you can't even come up with things. But you know what? Sometimes in the moment, you might be too tired to remember. I know things go in one ear and out the other
Yeah.
sometimes, depending on how busy I am. So do whatever it takes to be able to have something meaningful to share with your partner.
Okay. Now, I'm sure you get this all the time. I need my space. And that is something that a lot of people have mixed feelings about. But what's your take on it, and what amount of space is healthy?
Well, as long as you aren't taking that time and space to actively work on moving away from your partnership, then it should always be a good thing. That said, if it feels like it's too much to your partner, you want to find out why. Because it's not always that they're jealous or that they're clingy or needy. They might be going through something in particular that they need you by their side for that moment. It could be a period of time. It's not like, well, this is the way it's always going to be. So that back and forth of like, what do you need and why? This is what I need and why. And of
Mhm.
course, it's never going to be perfect, but at least you'll be able to feel like you're moving through these issues together versus just looking out for your own interest.
Okay, well, great advice there in the dating world or married life. Thank you so much, Dr. Viviana. Always so good to see you.
Thanks, guys.
Absolutely. And you can get a copy of Dr. Viviana's book on her website. It's drviviana.com. And use the code COCO for 20% off. You can also follow her on Instagram at Dr. Viviana. We will also be having more conversations with Dr. Viviana. So if you have a relationship question, send it our way. The email is mycoco@9news.com.